All right, welcome to the team call, you guys. Thanks for being on live as usual, and thank you those of you that are watching the replay. Let me just quickly blow through some housekeeping matters really quickly. We started the sneak peek today. We would really like you guys we really like to ask for the first time for you guys not to add people late. We've all done it. I've done it lots of times. That's one of the reasons we're coming out with a bi-monthly sneak peek. So we'll be doing another one that Lindsay and Emily are putting together that will start on Labor Day. So if you missed this cutoff and you really wanted to be a part of a sneak peek, just let people know that they can join that one. Or if you want to add someone like today, you should do it like today, because day one post is about to be yesterday's news. We kind of revised our content, and I feel very confident it's the best sneak peek that we've put together yet. So it's really exciting. We've incorporated more of our diamond leaders, just so you know if you're not in there. It's a wonderful way to become a recruiter. New coach training starts next Monday, the 24th, Monday the 24th. It runs about 2 weeks long, and Jen Fuji and I pioneer that one together. And again, we've been refining and revising and making that one better each month as we go. The last new coach training, I sound like a broken record, but it was the best new coach training that we've led to date, and it consequently had the best participation from those of you. And I want to give a really quick shout out to Rebecca Jones, who won the kind of award. There were a few awards, but she won the top award for that new coach training. It was a really hard thing to decide because everyone did so well. If you're just coming on, please mute your audio. So the new coach training, doing the $10 payment method was a little bit of a hassle for me. It's just something I need to refine between the survey and the PayPal account. So stand by for directions on payment. But basically, if you guys are on this call or you're listening to the replay, it means you care about your business. I take that for granted. If you're on this call tonight, you care. That means any new coaches that are in your downline, even if you only have one, any new coaches, you should add to the, let me mute Danielle, and hi Sophie. Let's see, all right. Any new coaches, you are a leader, even if you're kind of new yourself. If you have anyone in your downline that's new, you need to tag them. We're gonna break 500 coaches this week. Team Play Hard is gonna break 500 coaches. I can't tag everyone. Every time there's a new coach training or a sneak peek, I will tag the diamond coaches. And then the diamonds, and there's quite a few diamond coaches now, the diamonds can tag those of you that aren't diamonds, and anyone who's even an emerald has a team. You guys need to be making sure we're taking care of our new coaches. Okay, moving on. I'm gonna cut off the payments, just like I'm saying, we're cutting off the sneak peek, asking you not to add people late. I'm gonna cut off the payments, and same thing with the new coach training. So on Sunday, August 23rd, if you don't have a new coach in that group that's paid, I'm sorry, we can't add them late. They'll have to do the next one in September. I did post an update on everyone's Success Club status for the kind of semi-monthly report in Team Play Hard, so great job. It's 7:05, so I won't read the whole list, but great job. There's already half a dozen of you guys that are pulling in some really high numbers mid-month, so everybody keep pushing for your benchmarks. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jen Fuji, and she is going to be, she's going to be interviewing Tia, our newest diamond. Everybody clap for Tia. We're all muted. She's going to be interviewing Tia and also Amira. So I'm really, really, really excited to listen to what they have to say. You guys should come to these team calls with your pen and paper in hand and ready to learn. All right, I'm muting myself.
Okay, hi you guys, I'm Jen Fuji, and thanks Ellen, and thank you guys all for being here, and for those of you listening, we really appreciate it. And yes, Tia is our newest diamond. We're super thrilled, and Tia and Amira, I'm going to have them unmute themselves soon. So the topic of tonight is transformations, and I picked this topic because last week's call, Alan said, "Hey, let's do interviews of coaches and like talk about new stuff they're doing." And so I think it will help our whole team. It's great to hear other ideas. And so because I'm an OCD person and I take everything literally, I wrote out actual interview questions. and then I'm like, Ellen, so who's going to interview him? She's like, we're not going to actually interview. And I'm like, oh. So the topic of tonight being transformations, and we are going to talk about two things. One, Tia and Amira just did a business trip to Wisconsin, where Tia and I are from, and we're also going to talk about the Ultimate Reset. And I know Kelly did an Ultimate Reset call, and our content is completely different and in a whole other direction. So that being said, the definition of transformation when I was researching for tonight's call is as follows: a thorough or dramatic change in form or appearance. And while I was researching transformations, under one of the definitions was this line, and it said, the landscape has undergone a radical transformation. And that is exactly what's happened in both Tia and Amira's businesses, and also a physical transformation for Tia and myself. So we're going to be covering two different types of landscapes tonight. And I'm hoping that I'm going to ask the girls, we have 4 interview questions. And really the goal of these questions is that all of you on the call and listening will be able to take something away, that you'll be inspired in your own business and take something away and make it applicable to your business and where you guys are. All right, so with that being said, I'm going to get into the interview portion of this call. So Tia and Amira have been coaches for a year. Where's Tia so I can see her on this screen? So she's been a coach for a year, and although she's, stayed a coach and she's really ebbed and flowed, both her and Amira have, and yet the last 3 or 4 months, Tia's really took the bull by the horns. She's really taken the reins and she's really stepped up. So my first question to Tia is, what has been the difference in your business? What was the change?
Hi guys. Okay, so when I first became a coach, first of all, I was only 21. And secondly, I was a full-time student. I'm a marketer, fitness instructor. I'm across the country. And so balancing my life with Beachbody was like a really big adjustment for me. But the most important turning point for me was when I officially turned my sales into sharing. And I feel like now that I've been a coach for a year, I really have the business under my belt. I'm not afraid to share my stories. And that's what I tell my new coaches is it's not selling, it's really sharing your experience. I feel really knowledgeable with all the products that I've experienced and tried. And I feel confident in the business, so.
And Amira has the same story. I mean, she's, again, been a coach for almost the same amount of time. And she's been really active the last couple of months. And her business is completely transformed since they got back from Wisconsin. But Amira, what was the turning point for you in your business?
Hi, guys. I would say the turning point in my business was planning the trip to Wisconsin. And I'm someone that thrives under organization and structure, and planning to leave for a week really helped me buckle down and organize my time as a Beachbody coach and really dial down on the 3 vital behaviors and have consistency in my coaching business moving forward.
So with that, I think that the biggest takeaway from the turning point for them is that they both turned their sales into sharing. I think that's such a huge takeaway. So many of our new coaches, their biggest concern is, I don't want to seem salesy. And also the other turning point is that they both gained confidence. And when you can speak confidently and you're genuinely sharing, that really takes a lot of the pressure off. And that definitely happened to both of them before and on this trip. So Tia, why did we choose Wisconsin?
Okay, so I chose Wisconsin because, of course, I was born and raised there until I was 18. So I've already had established relationships there. Some of my customers and coaches are from Wisconsin. So originally it started as my warm market. I didn't know anyone here yet. And it ended up turning into my cold market because I wasn't feeling comfortable selling to my closest friends and my family. And now it's kind of turned back into my warm market because now that I've been doing it for a year, I feel like people take me more seriously. I've obviously stuck with the business. And so I wanted to reestablish my situation with what used to be my warm market as my warm market now. And lastly, the area that I'm from is like super saturated with Advocare and Thrive a lot. And I really wanted to introduce Beachbody on a more personal level into the area and show them the other routes that they can take and really spread the knowledge and show them that there's also other companies such as Beachbody out there. So
that's great. And Amira, I know why you went to Wisconsin to go with Tia, but why did you decide to take this week out of your life and go with her?
I decided to go to Wisconsin with Tia because I looked at it like it was a place where we could really bring positive change to their health and fitness. And I also went to step out of my comfort zone and really expand my Beachbody business with people I don't know and people I've never met.
That's awesome. So both of them, you know, Tia experienced something that we all experience, whether, especially new coaches. You know, again, going back to the new coaches, always, I don't want to seem salesy. You know, how do I share without, you know, only going to my friends and family? The only friends and family, or the only contacts I have on Facebook are friends and family. And so that can be what Tia experienced. You know, what's supposed to be your warm market turned into a cold market. But what happened is that after a year of being, you know, showing consistency, and even though the ebb and the flow, that people are watching her, people are watching Amira, and that to go back in a year with them knowing she's been doing this for a year, she has more confidence. Now she's established herself as a Beachbody coach. She's established value through her social media. So all of those things come into play. And I think that's really important for all coaches to take into account, especially all of our new coaches, because, you know, so many of us expect, I made this great post and then I got nothing. You know, even like in the social media challenge we're doing, a lot of the coaches are like, I don't get a lot of hits on my product posts. And we don't either, but what they do is they're watching you. And so it takes time to establish your value and show people the product and be proof of the product and those kinds of things. All right, so Tia, what was your initial, this is our question number 3 out of 4. What was your initial plan starting with your pre-work with your Facebook event?
okay, so first I created a Facebook Shake and Share event, and I invited a lot of people. And then about 2 days before the event, I followed up with everyone and was like, you know, I hope you're coming, can't wait to see you, blah, blah, blah. And then I created a PowerPoint, and my PowerPoint was an introduction of me and Amira. Then I did what is Beachbody, so just an overview of Beachbody. I talked a little bit about the different programs they offer, nutrition, fitness, supplements. Then I talked about Shakeology, the benefits, and the cost comparison. I did the 21-day fix, and then I did before and afters, and I actually used coaches from our team that allowed me to use their photos. I thought it was more personal of people that I actually know. I did the ultimate reset just because I finished the day before and I was excited about my results, so I wanted to share that. We did a slide about Beachbody coaching, the 3 types of coaches, and what's possible. And I used Ellen's little financial breakdown for that. So we also set up displays. We did Shakeology balls, little treat balls, and free sample shakes. And actually only one person ended up showing up. So my initial plan didn't turn out as followed, but I ended up getting a coach and a challenge pack through that. And everyone else that couldn't make it ended up meeting with me separately. So even though only one person came, we ended up establishing a lot of meetings during the trip, and it actually went really well. And I used that PowerPoint for everyone when I met up with them. So, yeah.
And so, Amira, my question to you is, obviously, Tia and your initial plan didn't go as what you thought. And so while she was making those individual appointments, what were you doing?
So it actually turned out awesome because I was able to reach out to people that actually live in California, my hometown. So when Tia was meeting up with her people, I was on the other end of the room meeting up with mine. And hadn't we been so prepared with our PowerPoint and things like that, I don't think Tia would have been so successful, but we had that PowerPoint and we were prepared, and it was an awesome tool to move forward.
So I think the takeaway for the team is that, first off, they did a ton of pre-work. They went uber prepared. Tia's approach with the PowerPoint was awesome. And I think that, you know, what happened is that they showed up as professionals, and they showed up as, you know, prepared, being professional, taking it really seriously. And so when Tia went to meet with those people, they were like, they had to sit up a little bit and be like, oh, wow, well, like this could actually change my life. I thought we were just talking about some protein shake. And so because of how they presented themselves and what they came prepared with and what they brought to the table as far as expectations, that forced their audience to sit up a little taller and pay attention a little bit more and take them more seriously. And they really established value, as opposed to just them showing up and saying, hey, you know, let me show you about this 21-day fix thing, and, you know, kind of randomly shooting from the hip, which of course sometimes we do as coaches. But I think that it's really important in some situations to step up a notch, because if we want more, out of our business, if we want to transform the landscape at which we are currently at, we need to do something different. And that is exactly what they did. And I think Tia did a great job with the PowerPoint presentation, with showing just enough about the business and using all kinds of different versions of transformations, and ending with Ellen's financial one, which is really great. So the last question I have is, what was your biggest takeaway?
So my biggest takeaway is, of course, I already know I can grow my business from anywhere. But even when I'm traveling, it's nice to have that and be able to do that while I'm on vacation. Secondly, not to be discouraged, because even though I only had one person show, I actually ended up benefiting a lot more than I anticipated with the meetings and sending out those messages and creating that event. Even the people I couldn't meet with separately ended up actually like being a lot more interested than they had seemed before. It was a like friendly way of kind of re-inviting them to Beachbody. And then lastly, I realized that I'm actually more comfortable with people in person when I used to be more comfortable just online messaging. And I would much rather continue doing my own shake and shares. And I really enjoyed the experience. So, yeah.
And Amira, what was your biggest takeaway?
I would say my biggest takeaway would have to be that I spend about 6 to 7 days a week in the gym, in the health and fitness field, and stepping out of my comfort zone. I realized that not everyone has that opportunity. And being away from the gym and being away from home and meeting with people that aren't used to a certain lifestyle of the health and fitness field, it gave me a chance to be the expert and to help them and educate them. And that made me super confident, and it was a huge, huge positive thing for my business.
I think it's great. I mean, anyone on the team, you know, we talk about shake and shares all the time. And, you know, I think the biggest takeaway is that both of them stepped outside of their comfort zone. And as a result, you know, Tia was able to rank advance, Amira to Diamond. Amira, by stepping into something that she was completely uncomfortable with, you know, they both learned a little bit about themselves and had some personal transformation within their business transformations. And Amira was able to sign up a coach that she has been wanting from the day that she came into this business, Sham, who's new to our team, and has really found her true success partner, and now is just on fire. And I mean, I've never seen either one of them this blown up before, and it's really a result of not only the 3 vital behaviors, but going outside of their comfort zones and being prepared. You know, you don't have to travel 5,000 miles to do a shake and share, obviously, but you know, and knowing that it's not going to go the way you planned and you need to think outside of the box. And those are things that we just need to hold on to as coaches. So that being said, there's many kinds of transformations, and this one was a business one. As many of you guys know, Tia and I just finished the Ultimate Reset 2 weeks ago. And we wanted to give you guys our results and give you a little information about the Ultimate Reset that you could take back to your customers and that you could share, again, making applicable into your businesses. Not that it's just not great for us to tell you our progress, but we're hoping that it will help your guys in your business. So my personal results from the Ultimate Reset, just physical results, were I'm down 12 pounds and I lost 10 inches. I originally lost 10 pounds on the reset, and then 2 more fell off along the way. And Tia, what were your results?
I lost 11 pounds and 13 and a half inches.
That's amazing. And if you guys haven't seen her before and afters, they're off the hook. Both of our before and afters are so completely different. So I want to give you guys a quick, I want to go over just the 3 cornerstone nutritional products that Beachbody has as my intro into the Ultimate Reset. And then I have basically 6 points about the Ultimate Reset that we thought would be most valuable for you guys to hear about and hear about our experience. So the first one, as you guys know, we have the 3-day refresh. And the 3-day refresh is it's really good for almost anybody. And you can use it in such a multitude of ways. You can use it for someone who's already done the 21-day, who hasn't done a 21-day, someone who the whole concept of 21 days freaks them out. It can be used as showing someone what the possibility of clean eating just for 3 days can do for you. Because really what ends up happening is someone on the 3-day refresh can lose between like 5 and 8 pounds, unless you're Brian Saunders and you lose 11. And then what happens is they're like, okay, now what? And they're super excited. So the 3-day refresh is really flexible for a large demographic, from physical to mental coaching them into, let's just try eating better point of view as a Beachbody coach. So then the next level would be, we have the 21-day fix. And as you know, the 21-day focuses on portion control, preparing your food. The 21-day fix is the same for the entire 21 days. And I would say that, and I'm going to explain this a little bit more as I continue, that although you feel better on the 21-day fix, the focus of the 21-day fix is looking better, and it's learning to eat. You know, what is your result going to be afterwards? And we have the whole 21-day fix extreme. And so then you have what I would consider the upper echelon, the top tier of Beachbody nutritional programs, which is the Ultimate Reset. It's the only thing it has in common with the 21-day fix is that it is 21 days, but it is a total detox. And although losing weight is a benefit and a side benefit for most people who do it, it's not the goal. The goal is not to look better. The goal is to feel better. And all of the reading material that you get as part of the Ultimate Reset is a lot of it they spend on, this is how you might feel in phase 1. This is how you might feel in phase 2. It's not focused on how you look at all. The other main difference is that the 21 days is broken up into 3 phases, which is super helpful because you get to the end of phase 1 and you're down 1 week and you're like, instead of mentally saying, oh my God, I have 14 days left, you're like, oh, okay, I'm on to week 2. And then at the end of week 2, at the 14-day mark, when all of us were like, okay, I'm kind of over it, but I only have phase 3 left, I only have 7 more days. Mentally, it's different that way. The phases are reclaim, detox, and restore. So that's a little bit of background about the Ultimate Reset in comparison to the other 2 nutritional programs we have. I'm going to get into the 6 things we decided to share with you guys tonight. The first thing we wanted to tell you was our individual whys. So Tia, what was your why?
So I started the Ultimate Reset, of course, to detox, but also because when I had first started working out, I lost 25 pounds, which is a lot for me. And I plateaued for quite a long time. I didn't really know what the next step in my nutrition was and how to take it further, no matter how much I was working out or changing my workouts. My weight was not really changing, and my body wasn't really where I wanted it to be. And I also wasn't really at a place in my life where I could make choices like the 21 Day does. And so I really like how the Ultimate Reset plans every single meal for you. But I also have never cut out meat or dairy, and I was really wanting to experience that. And even if I wanted to, I didn't really know the proper way to do that. So it was a really good opportunity for me to cut things out of my diet and really clean it up for a while and see what that was going to do for my body in the proper way that I wouldn't have known. And yeah, that's about it.
So my why was some parts were the same. I was already not eating meat, and I'm already dairy free. I do eat fish, but my thing was I wasn't eating meat and I wasn't eating dairy, but I just wasn't eating. I was doing Shakeology. I was living on I would do 2 Shakeology shakes a day, and I was really into green juices and juicing. And I had gotten to this really bad habit of liquids all through the day, and then I would come home and I would eat. And if someone would have looked at my before picture, they would have been like, well, I don't see where you have 12 pounds to lose. But if you look at it now, you can see that what was really happening to me was what we coach our clients and customers on all the time, is that when you don't eat, you shut down your metabolism, and eventually your body's like, all right, I'm done with you, sister. Everything you put into your body, I'm going to put it in your fat storage because I don't know when I'm going to get to eat again. And you start to carry this extra layer of bloat. And although my extra layer of bloat had some nice ab lines on it, they were being pushed out. Okay, that's not very cute. And I felt horrible. I had been, I turned 40, and I'd been celebrating my birthday for quite some time because Ellen turned 42. So I felt like I was celebrating 40 since April, and it was June. And then I celebrated the 4th of July. And then I was like, all right, I need a detox. I need a detox. So I did it to actually force myself to eat and prepare food again, and to not drink for 21 days straight, and to really flush out my system. So that was my why. So the second thing we want to talk about is what we learned. So Tia, what did you learn?
Well, first of all, I learned how to cook. I usually don't cook, and even with the 21 Day Fix, I just buy foods that don't require cooking. So that was good. I also learned about a lot of new vegetables and other foods that I've never even heard of before, and how to use them. So that was really nice. And I also learned how to make vegetables taste good with other ingredients, because I really hate vegetables. I don't like to eat them. So I learned how to eat more vegetables and to feel satisfied and not deprived by eating them. And then lastly, I learned that I must have had a lot more toxins than I thought, because I actually did have headaches, which I didn't anticipate. I was just like, well, I'll be fine, but I really actually didn't feel that great for the first week while I was detoxing. So yeah, that's what I learned.
My thing that I learned was that I'm no better in eating than my clients. And what I mean by that is, because I wasn't paying attention to when I was hungry, so I wasn't eating, what the Ultimate Reset makes you do is that because you have supported supplements that come with it, these supplements are something you have to take 30 minutes before you eat. And because my sister is an OCD to the nth degree, when it says 30 minutes, you're going to eat, if you're going to take your supplements at 1 o'clock and you're going to eat at 1:31. And if you're not eating by 1:32, she's like, oh my God, we're not eating. That's not good. Do you think that's going to mess up our results? So I was really it really forced me to think about how I was feeling. Like, okay, I know I have to take these supplements. Am I hungry? Am I going to make it another hour? And so that's really good to pass on to your customers because, part of the whole nutritional value of Beachbody is learning about your body. And so a lot of the things that they are scared of over the 21-day fix and the ultimate reset are things that are really beneficial once you mentally wrap your mind around them. So I really learned to pay attention to how I was feeling. I learned to drink a lot more water, which is crazy. I thought that I was drinking enough, and clearly I was not. And also, the ultimate reset is not inexpensive. It is around $300 for the whole thing. And so when you have that financial commitment, you really don't want to mess it up. I mean, you don't want to throw $300 down the drain. So that's really a big deal. All right. So number 3, look versus feel. What do you want to say about that, Tia?
Well, I'm really happy with how I looked and felt afterwards, first of all. Secondly, I really just trusted the process, although both me and Jen were extremely scared to start. And whenever I look at vegetables, I just think oh my gosh, I'm going to be so deprived of food and unsatisfied. So I was actually worried, but I was like, you know what, I'm just going to trust this process. And I actually didn't worry about what I looked like because I was feeling the detox and I felt really great versus at other times I do worry about what I'm looking like every single day when I'm making my own choices. So I felt extremely good trusting the process, and I didn't feel bloated or anything, and I could really feel my body detoxing. So
yeah, I think that was the same for me. I think really what we both walked away with is that so much of what we talk about is you're going to look amazing, you're going to lose weight, you're going to learn how to cook, but the ultimate reset, really, you feel so great, and yet you're getting results, but you're so ingrained in the process, and whether that's because you don't want to not use your supplements that you spent $300 for or whatever it is, we've all done programs where we look amazing and we feel terrible. This one, it was really you felt so great that the looking good was a byproduct that wasn't even just half as awesome. And so that was really awesome. All right, going into towards the end of it, what was your biggest takeaway, Tia, other than now you can eat a vegetable?
That, and it changed my relationship with food. I feel like the place that I wanted my body to go, that it is possible to get there. My takeaways were, I kind of felt you know what, maybe I won't want to eat meat after this. I've never tried. I did learn that I do continue to eat meat, and I would like to continue. But I don't really like having dairy, and that was nice to kind of find that out. I really the second that I ate cheese, after I was done, I was no, not eat any more dairy. I don't want to. What else was I gonna say? Oh, the meals were actually when I looked at it, I thought that I was gonna be super hungry. And majority of the time, I actually didn't even finish my lunch because all the meals are so large. And I think that's one of my issues with vegetables is I don't think that it's going to fill me up. And my takeaway was that I can actually eat a lot more vegetables and be full. So those are my takeaways.
My biggest takeaways were that Ultimate Reset was one of the Beachbody programs I had never done, and my biggest fears about it were actually the things I walked away loving. I was most fearful that you didn't get a choice over what to eat. I was most fearful about the supplements. I was most fearful that I wouldn't have time or the ability to cook those foods. I had a lot of, oh my God, I just can't do that, a lot of mental mindset around it. And as a result of that I think that unconsciously that's how I spoke about it to my customers. I never once tried to sell an Ultimate Reset pack. And now, but everything I just told you that was my fear, again, all the things I loved about it. I love that you don't have a choice. It's great. It simplifies your life. And a lot of people on the 21-day fix walk away with, wow, I just couldn't narrow, like they have to narrow down those choices, and that in itself can be stressful. So, the takeaway is that it really is anybody could do the Ultimate Reset. It is the upper echelon of our nutritional programs, but it is anybody could do it for a multitude of reasons. I would recommend it to anyone. The two biggest questions that Tia and I get are, how are we transitioning back in, and were we able to work out? And I would say that the answer would be, where is your client starting from? And know that in the beginning you're going to be lightheaded. Like Tia, she had a lot of headaches. If you're used to working out, I would just tell your client that you just really need to know that, listen to your body. And I taught, as you know, I own a gym and I teach classes, and I continued to teach those classes. And I did not do any extra workouts, though. I was teaching too much, and I didn't really have the desire to work out. And that was the same for Tia. So those are the biggest takeaways. Before I leave you on my final thoughts, do you guys have any like black and white questions about the Ultimate Reset or anything? Okay. I guess I want to leave you with some final thoughts. Transitioning, not talking about Bruce Jenner, but transitions can be often most related to physical, but we see in our team all the time, there's transitions overflow into physical, business transitions, financial transitions, relationship. Transitions are, they happen every day, every single day, any minute of the day. We're growing or we're not growing. Things are changing. And I would leave you with this, that as you transition in your business, to pay attention to what you need to do more of. Maybe you need to grow your organizational skills like Amira did and jump outside of the box and do things you're not comfortable with. Maybe you need to become more prepared and like Tia took the step in doing a PowerPoint, but that as you grow as a leader and as a coach, that you continue to evolve and transition your business building tools and put yourself out there and learn more things that you're not comfortable learning. If you're scared of it, it's probably the thing you should do the most. Our team is a really great example of transitions. We're growing so much. Like someone would say, oh, she's a star overnight, or Tia turned diamond overnight. And we all know that to be not true. No one is a star overnight. No one becomes diamond overnight. They do it because they do the 3 vital behaviors. They have consistency, and they are preparation meeting opportunity on a daily basis. And so our team, Ellen and I have worked on the transitions of new coach training for the last 6 months. We continue to tighten up the sneak peek. And, as you guys know, Holly Hireman and Michelle Park just asked to be a fly on the wall. And that is not because they just heard we were doing a sneak peek. It's because our preparation met opportunity and it's dialed in. And I urge you to continue to grow outside of your box. And I'm going to leave you with a final quote. It's my sister's final quote, and it's this: not all those that wander are lost. So those new coaches who are out there wandering and you feel like you're wandering aimlessly, you are not. You just haven't wandered into your landscape of transition yet. And that's all I have.
Thank you.
I think Brian posted in the comments that he had a question.
Oh, I can never read those. Go ahead, Brian.
You covered it, Jen.
Oh, great. Well, what was it, just in case? Maybe someone else had it.
It was the workout one.
Oh, if we worked out?
Yeah, working out while you're on it, how you felt.
Yeah.
I just had a comment, and I'm just so impressed by the way, Tia and Amira are some of the youngest coaches on our team, and this wasn't something they threw together. In fact, months ago, Tia was telling me about this trip that she was going to take, and, she didn't show up unprepared. She showed up with a PowerPoint presentation. Some of the youngest coaches on our team put that much forethought and saw this thing as a business opportunity, and they get a tax write-off on the whole trip. But how many of us, don't see opportunity everywhere? They some of our youngest coaches, we can have a takeaway with, see opportunity everywhere. Every time you go get a coffee, every time you go to the grocery store, every time you travel, every time you go visit your parents, see opportunity everywhere and be prepared. And it really did change both of their businesses, obviously, since returning from that trip. And then also just to kind of piggyback off part of that other part of the call that the first part before they started talking about the reset, it's very true that people watch you for like a year. I can't tell you guys how many conversations I have today with people that want to join the team or they want to buy a challenge pack from me. I can't tell you how many of those conversations start out with this sentiment. I've been watching you for a very long time, and I've been watching you for a year, and I've been watching you for a couple years, and I would really like you to tell me now about it's when they're ready. It's when they're ready. And so brand new coaches kind of have a little gift in that their warm market is hot because they get to talk to all their warm market, but then they go through that warm market and then you get in this little like, went through your warm market, but you haven't, it takes time. It takes time of you being a product of the product and you showing up consistently every day on your social media. And I'm telling you, there's a sweet spot in there at about a year, you guys. About a year of you being true to our company and branding yourself well and doing your personal development, doing our vital behaviors. There's a sweet spot at about a year. So hang in there through months 3 through 8.
Do we have anything else? Anybody have any questions? Should we stop recording?
Yes, just lastly, for the people that are watching the recording at home, quick reminder, you guys, I can't do it all. You're a leader, you care, or you wouldn't be listening to the recording. You guys need to tag and get your a brand new coach is probably not going to say, hey, do you guys have any new coach trainings coming up? That's our responsibility. Don't rely on me. Don't even rely on your upline diamond. You do it. Get your new coaches in our new coach training. It's going to cost $10. I'm going to stop the recording. Bye, guys.